Oh my word, I could just jump into that, Paul Ben. What a fabulous visualization there from Villamora. We'll be finding out more about that site there and that wonderful opportunity with Marion from the agency in just a little while. I was just going to ask you how you're doing. Clearly, you're fine taking a big sip of wine right there. So, yeah, how are you this evening?
That was a bit of a sudden introduction. I scared myself with my own face there, which happens almost every time I look in the mirror, so I should be used to it by now.
Well, how are you? I think it was one of your ideas that our guests and obviously ourselves, we bring a regional wine with us. Looks like that's going down well for you. What have you got there?
Definitely. I've got the Herdade dos Templários over here. So sort of, I thought regional. I live pretty close to Tomar. Well, I've been living here for almost 4 years now. It is a wine from the Tejo, and it's a lovely blend of Arinto, Fernão Pires, and Riesling, which I'm quite partial to a good Riesling.
Riesling grapes. Wow, okay, that's a bit unusual here in Portugal. So you'll be quaffing on that. We'll find out what Marion and Sarah have got when they join us a little bit later on.
What have you got?
I've got just from down the road from me, Lisboa. It is. I drove past it actually. I think yes. I went to Alcobaça yesterday and drove very close to Quinta dos Capuchos, and it's really delicious. It's a €3 Portuguese wine. It's absolutely delicious tonight, and a lovely way to get warmed up and started for our fairly new show, Find Your Home in Portugal. And in many ways, it could be subtitled the adventures of two guys new in real estate. But thankfully, we've got some seasoned pros joining us every week. How's it going for you, Ben, in the world of real estate? We're both new to this, really, aren't we?
We are pretty good so far. I mean, I will have soon 3 listings on my books, which fingers crossed that all works out as well.
Hitting the ground running, very good.
Exactly. I think I've been pretty lucky, having grown up here in Portugal and having built the connections over the years that I have. I've got a good foundation of, people that have places to sell, want to move, a good network of people come into the country, and of course, people to help people settling in Portugal as well.
Very good, very good. Okay, let's bring her onto the screen. Like I say, we're new to this. Marion is joining us from the agency. Let's give her a nice big round of applause and bring her on this evening. How about that? Were you expecting applause this evening,
I was not. I am very impressed.
You deserve them. And clearly, you're from the agency. Are you in the office in Villamora as we speak?
I am in the office in Villamora as we speak. That's how we roll here,
It's amazing. Look at that. Yeah. I've got a potting shed background. Ben's got a bare wall. And you've got the full-on showbiz agency background there in Villamora. How is the Algarve this evening? Or has it been today?
It is good. It's still really warm for October, so it's good, but it's warm.
That's so good, isn't it? We're having a lovely autumn, I think, already here in Portugal. Marion, you work in the Villamora Algarve area, of course. Oh, she's gone already. I only had to say hi, and she disappeared. I wonder what happened there. Maybe is it the connection in the Algarve? Perhaps we need to find out if Wi-Fi is any good in the Algarve before anybody decides to buy a home and move there. So what we'll do is have a little bit of a rejig, I think. If Sarah's okay to join us at the moment, give us a thumbs up, Sarah, and we'll go through some industry news with you. Excellent. And we'll see what happened to Marion, and we'll bring her back on in just a moment. So good evening to you, Sarah Davey of Spartan Effects.
Tudo bem?
Hayden. Yeah, really good. Thank you. Really good. Very good indeed. Yes. And we do have Marion back now. I'll bring you on the screen in just a moment, Marion. Not sure what happened there. Sorry if it was our fault at our end. We'll do a very quick bit of industry news and chat with you as well, Sarah, if we may. And we welcome your comments on what Ben's about to share with us, a bit of real estate industry news. So go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, so I mean, it's been a while since we've done this show. What has it been 2 weeks since we did the last one as well? And a lot has happened in those 2 weeks. I've written down here in my notes, that's why I keep looking down, my top 3 over here. So there will be, it's been approved through Parliament, rising property taxes on non-EU residents here in Portugal. So if you're someone who's from the United States, from the UK, who's arrived in Portugal and thinking of buying, maybe it'd be a good time to hold off for a little bit until you get that residency permit. I haven't found anything yet that has a specific value connected to it, say how much it's going to increase by, but this is something that is happening. So
is it a proposal or is it actually happening now? Has it made the law books?
It's gone through Parliament. It's been all approved. I'm yet to find something with a specific value though, but as soon as I do, I'll be sure to post it on my Facebook. I'll be sure to post it all over Instagram too.
Sure, and we'll put that over at the Portugal Club where we have a real estate industry news thread there as well. Okay, so your suggestion is to wait to see what happens?
Definitely. Okay. Maybe put the brakes on buying just for the time being.
Right, okay. That could be a controversial view. Let's see what Marion has to say about that as well. What else have you got, Ben?
So, and on a bit more of a positive note as well, we have a bit of a decrease on income tax for landlords here in Portugal. That's gone from 25% to 10%, so a bit more savings there. I imagine this is all these laws are being passed to try stagnate the rising property prices here in Portugal and the rising rental prices here as well. I personally am quite optimistic about this. I think it's a much needed change. You know, we were talking with Ana Caramujo on Friday as well about this, and it's quite ridiculous how much landlords have to pay here in Portugal. But thankfully, things seem to be slowing down.
It's not very attractive for them to put their homes on the market, is it? I think
really.
Partly to do with tenant protection, which is no bad thing, but sometimes it can be quite extreme, as Anna was pointing out to us. And then, very heavy tax on the income from rentals, which if they want to free up more rental property in Portugal, it's probably not the best formula, right, at the moment?
No, not at all. But another angle to this as well is if you own a holiday home here in Portugal, it might be time to consider changing that holiday home to a long-term rental as well with this recent deduction.
Oh, okay. All right. Very interesting. Thank you. We could discuss that at length on our platform at the Portugal Club. And finally, Ben.
Finally, as well, because we ended last week on a bit of a negative note, you know, we're in a market where there's very low supply, quite high demand. On a more positive note as well, the deduction that tenants can claim on their IRS has now been increased to €900 per annum.
Very good. Okay. So changes afoot, it would appear, to help with the availability of rentals and to make it easier for people, Portuguese people especially.
Exactly, and by 2027 that should increase to 1,000 as well. So it's looking even more optimistic.
Okay, advantageous. Sarah, anything in there that takes your fancy to talk about? You are, of course, from Spartan FX. You can help people change their euros or their pounds, their dollars or their pounds into euros. How are you this evening?
I'm very well, thank you. Probably what I would say is, obviously, when you buy property, obviously you speak to the property experts that we've got on here around, obviously, increased tax or house prices, are they increasing? That's another, obviously, factor to look at. But from an exchange rate perspective, it's still worthwhile maybe looking at possibly buying euros sooner or later. Even if you've not found a property yet, it's really about managing the exchange rate fluctuations. So, for example, we saw about a 1.5% rate movement in your favour last week, mainly because we had a bit of euro weakness, because the Prime Minister had resigned on the day that he joined and then was reappointed. So there was a bit of, basically, France is the second largest economy in the Eurozone, so they're having a bit of a political crisis at the moment. And obviously what the concern is that as long as this goes on, then it delays any fiscal sort of reform. So we've seen a bit of euro weakness. So that's kind of the rates we're seeing at the moment, the levels we're seeing at the moment, we've seen them for a few months now. These could be your new levels. So within that, we're looking at sort of small spikes that actually make a difference. So on your €450,000 property, that 1.5% difference is about $10,000. So it really does make a difference. And then we're looking also longer term. So next year, we're looking at maybe interest rate cuts by the Fed. We're looking at inflation very closely. What they're saying is that, yes, inflation is slightly higher than it was last year, but it's not the same as we were pre-pandemic. So actually, they may look to cut interest rates. There's certainly a lot of pressure, obviously, from Trump on the Fed to cut interest rates. It'll help stimulate the economy. It'll help make it cheaper to buy back debt. So they really do want to do that. The other thing is the tariffs and the trade wars. It's back and forth. And what we're seeing at the moment, obviously, with Trump putting a high tariff on China, for example, then China's holding the rare earth minerals ransom. So again, how will the tariffs, what the Fed think that it may only be a small blip in inflation in the short term, but ultimately, who's going to bear the cost of these increasing tariffs? Consumers. It's going to cost more for them to buy the products. Will they buy less? Will therefore that impact production, trade, and will then people be laying off workers? So all of that could have a negative impact on the US economy and then maybe weaken the US dollar next year. So if Morgan Stanley predicting 1.25 next year, all of a sudden the levels that we're seeing at the moment are actually attractive. It's just not as attractive as what we saw at the beginning of the year.
Okay, very good. And on that note of volatility, can we come back to you? We're hoping to have a chat with Marion, who's squeezing us into her busy schedule this evening. So if we can have a chat with Marion and come back to you on strategies for making sure you don't get caught out on making the most of fluctuations, if that's all right with you, Sarah?
Yes, absolutely. I know she's on a time frame.
All right, we'll see you in a little while. Let's just pop Sarah into the backstage green room and bring Marion I think she just wanted another round of applause. Is that right?
You know me too well, Carl.
That's record breaking. Never been done before.
Not sure what happened there, but great to have you back.
You're experts. You might be experts in real estate, but I'm definitely not an expert in a podcast, so I think I clicked out by accident.
Okay, don't touch anything, Marion. Please just tell us about yourself and how you got into real estate and what you do. You know, basically like a day in the life of Marion with the agency down there in the Algarve.
Yeah, well, I moved to the Algarve 9 years ago. With my husband and my 3 kids, they were 7, 5, and 3 at the time. And it's funny when you look back because there wasn't that many expats back then. It's changed so much now, right, since COVID. But they went into public school. There was no English-speaking people there. Again, changed so much since COVID. And I had an event company. Wedding and event company, and then COVID happened, and that was the worst industry to be in, and that's how I got into real estate.
How amazing! So you were running events in the Algarve?
Yeah.
So and on that basis, presumably got to know it really well.
Yeah, I did, because oh my God, you're going up and down everywhere. It was mostly weddings, so all Irish, English, even American brides coming over, and it was great because. Look, the weather in Ireland, they were like, oh my God, no, I want a really good wedding. You know, that's cheaper and there's nice weather and there's cheaper wine and it's so good. And even now I still see how lucrative the business is because everyone's coming over.
Wow, that's such a good idea, such a good business idea. But you pivoted into real estate and working with the agency and in the territory of the Algarve. But of course, all of us agency representatives have a worldwide network. But that is your specialism, and I'm aware that I hog the guest. Ben, do forgive me. Do you have any questions for Marion?
Not at all. I found it quite funny when you said there weren't many expats when you came here as well, because I've lived in Portugal since I was about 5. And when I was in school, I was the only English kid there until about my senior year when I was one of a dozen.
It's mad. Yeah.
It is mad how many people have come over, yes.
I know. And I was in Lagos and now I'm in Villamora, but we lived in Lagos. And Lagos was like, you know, Villamora, Quatera, Lule is a little bit more multicultural. I kind of always say Lagos is like an Irish country town, you know. So there was like literally no one speaking English. I think there was one other kid maybe when the kids started. And then as we left, because we're in Villamora a year now, when we left, I could see the change. My youngest daughter, when I went up to the gate, it was just full of Irish, English, South Africans, Australians, Americans. I couldn't get over it.
Wow, that's amazing. So you mentioned the better weather and the competitively priced booze that attracted people to come as visitors,
yes.
To have their weddings here. Yes, cheers. So,
cheers.
What else can you tell us about the Algarve to someone tuning in? We're helping people find their homes in Portugal, and I'm sure you're going to sing the praises of down south there. What is it you love about the Algarve so much? And it is diverse, and it is subject to stereotypes that we have to break because people have ideas about the Algarve as well. What do you want to say on that?
Like I said, though, it has completely changed. So, you know, everyone has this idea that it's retired golf play, you know, that people just golf and drink wine at lunch and walk their dogs and play pickleball and paddle. But it's completely, I mean, it is still that, but it's young families, it's digital nomads that are coming out. And what I found for my clients, especially in the States, is they come over. They know Porto, they know Lisbon, and they start there. And especially when they come in the winter, and then they go, oh my God, it's way too cold. I'm going down to the Algarve. So that's what we find is that it's starting to get a little bit more well known. If you a couple of years ago asked someone where the Algarve was, they'd be like, I don't know, you know, not for English and Irish, but especially for people in the States, they never ever heard of the Algarve. So I think now it's kind of making a name, and like you can see with the demand and everything that's happening down here and how the demographic has changed down here. So it is younger families, there's more private schools opening, there's more private hospitals opening because the demand is there.
Yeah, and a Villamora shopfront. Notably, the agency have opened shopfronts in Cascais and Villamora. They're meeting that demand and a new awareness of the Algarve, presumably.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that's why I'm here to share one of the most exciting things that we've been chosen to sell. Which again, and when we talk about the Algarve and how the demand is so high, but how it's changing. So Arrow Global have come in and they've bought up all of Villamora, and you know when big funds come in that there's a reason why, right? Because everyone wants a piece of it. So what they're doing is they're putting over 500 million into Villamora. So Villamora, as we know it, won't be the same again. It's going to be such an interesting place, and you'll see the change in 5 and 10 years. But what's so exciting about it is the Algarve is known for golf, right? We've 33 golf courses in the Algarve, but they're now 33. And you think you get from one end to the Algarve to the other in what, 2 hours?
Yes.
I don't know how fast you drive. I know some people say an hour and a half, but I'm 2 hours.
Right, okay, you're not Portuguese driving speeds yet then.
Right?
Okay.
So it's unbelievable. So what they've done now is they have launched the new Ernie Els Golf Club. Now, for those people who aren't into golf, Ernie Els is he's on the PGA Tour. Now he's on the senior tour. He's a South African golfer.
Yes.
And he has golf courses in Dubai, in the States, and Asia. And now he has chosen Portugal as the first Ernie Els Golf Club in Europe. So it's massive. Okay. Now, this is a very exclusive golf course. It'll be something that we do not have down here, that we don't really have in Portugal. I think Comporta might have something similar, but there's nothing like this. So what it is there's going to be maximum 350 to 400 members. Okay, so it's real exclusive living. And they chose Villamora first. So the agency have been chosen to sell the real estate for the Ernie Els, which is super exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can see, I mean, that's a visualization there, and we'll find out more about the timescale from you. And some beautiful visuals, some visualizations from inside as well that I'm endeavoring to bring to the screen. And I will do so. So what is the timescale on this, do you think? When are people going to be able to get excited and make a purchase on this?
Well, the most exciting thing is they just launched the golf club, and there's 50 founding members that they said they were going to find 50 founding members, and they're gone. That's done. They have the 50 founding members already. They've also, from people that are interested in the Els, there's of the 78 villas and townhouses, 8 are reserved already, and we've just launched. So amazing. There's a real excitement about this. When you look at the lifestyle, so when you look at, we just say Villamora for people that don't know Villamora.
Yes.
You have Villamora. It's a beautiful marina. You know, it's known worldwide. But now they're going to have a brand new marina. Okay, they're going to have the biggest equestrian center in Europe. We're going to have high performance sports complex, and then you have the Ernie Els Golf Club. So what goes with all this? It has to be luxury real estate to match the demand. Oh, yeah. And that's what they've done here. So this is a touristic development, but what it is basically it's going to be just completely 5-star. It has a Vista Club, which will be a family club where you have a beach club. You're going to have your tennis courts, your paddle, outdoor, indoor swimming pools. You're going to have top class restaurants. You're going to have 24-hour concierge service, completely 5-star. So the whole thing is an experience. And that's what makes it. But what it does is it gets you, which is one of the biggest things, is it purchasing here will get you in front of the membership board for the Els Club.
Well, I never. Now, Ben and I are obviously too young to play golf. But what do you think, Ben?
Oh, it's a fabulous property, isn't it? It kind of reminds me a bit of the where the agency had their last meetup in Abydos. What's that? The
Royal Abydos. Yeah.
Royal Abydos. Thank you.
Yeah. It looks really wonderful.
It is really beautiful. So it's going to be T2, so 2-bedroom townhouses, 3-bedroom villas, 4-bedroom villas, and 3-bedroom duplexes. So it is a touristic development, and of the 78 of those units, 23 of them have to go into the pooling system. So it's ideal for someone who just wants to have it as an investment, but also and you'll kind of get used to this, Ben, when we go in and when we talk about touristic developments, and usage is usually very low for the owners, but because this is golf, they're allowed to use the property 112 days a year, and then they rent it out for the remaining. But that's just 23 units. And then for the remaining units, they can do what they want. So they could say, look, I want to golf 6 months of the year and I want to rent it out for 6 months of the year. I want to live here and just golf all the time. So it's a really, really flexible opportunity for people. And it's a fantastic investment, because you're looking at what's happening in Villamora now. And when you look at Villamora in 10 years' time, how much is your property going to be worth?
Market, I'm looking up at the moment. I mean, I read some the other day that in the second trimester of 2025, just globe for the whole of Portugal went up 17.2%, the market.
It's crazy.
Amazing.
The demand is there. It's the demand, and it's going to always be here. I always say the Algarve is such a little bubble. It's completely different. I know we talk about Cascais and then you talk about the Algarve, and there's areas that are different. But when you look at Lisbon and Porto and the Algarve, they're completely different. There's so much wealth in the Algarve, and it's a place where you look at Quinta do Lago, it's from generations. The families have come over and then their kids have come over, and it's just a place where there's always going to be that demand, and people say, I'm waiting for a price drop. If the property is priced right, and it's a beautiful property, there is no price drop. And we see it all the time. People say, I'm going to wait till next year. The markets are unstable, they're this or that. But when you come, especially for new developments in the Algarve, the time to purchase is now, because you're going to come back around and say, oh, what? It's increased by 30%? Yeah, it has.
Next year will be a 10% increase at least.
We hear this, don't we? Don't time the market. If you're ready to buy. Yes, go for it. Okay, we have your details there at theagencyre.com. Marion-Purcell is the link there. We've got a question in from Bob up in the north. For this northerner, he asks, is this between Albufeira and Faro? Can you give us a quick geography, an Algarve geography lesson before you have to go?
I can. Yeah. So we're about 25 minutes to Faro Airport, and then about 15 minutes to the outskirts of Albufeira. So exactly what you said, that's where we are.
Well spotted, or well guessed there, maybe, Bob. Thank you very much for joining us. Anything else you want to tell us? I mean, that's one spotlight featured property, which we obviously asked you to bring with you, Marion. Anything else you want to share with us before you have to leave us this evening? And I hope you'll come back on a regular basis.
I'd love to come back. I really would. I've had a lot of families that are contacting me, and I even went on an event in Ireland, and so many people say to me, like, how do you do it? How do you move over? And so many people are on the verge of, I want to move or I don't want to move. Do your research and actually take the chance, because for me, I've lived in a lot of places. When we moved 9 years ago, I always said Ireland will be there, when I'm ready, or if I'm ready to go back. And if you keep that in your mindset, I think take the leap, because Portugal is such a great place. Honestly, it's the weather, the lifestyle that my children have, like, it's just, like I said, I think I said to you earlier on, it just reminds me, it's the closest thing. And I've lived in Spain, New York, Australia, a bit of a gypsy, with us Irish. And this is the one place where I was like, when myself and my husband looked at each other after a year, we said, actually, I'm happy here. And we didn't get a 7-year itch or anything. So do your research, find good people that you work with, like all of us, people that give that content that will help you, and do your research and take the chance. Just have a go. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. At least you tried.
We've got footage from Bobby O'Reilly and his Haddad de Mayo, not quite as far south as Marion, but we've got some lovely footage and a great video from our mutual colleague, Carl Hyde. And the other Irishman, Jerry from Expats Portugal, he said before now, Marion, that it's like Ireland but without rain. Would you like that Portugal? That is. Would you agree with that assessment? He's very happy here.
I'll add one more thing. It's like Ireland without rain and way cheaper drink.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, for some people watching, it's like, okay, that's it. Push the button. Let's go. Well, cheers, Marion. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks so much.
Do come back and keep us up to date with what's going on down there. Good on you. Cheers.
Ciao.
Yeah, and bye for now. Excellent, Ben. Very good to chat with Marion, our colleague. And let me just put her details on the screen. And before we talk to Sarah again, what's your view? Do you feel like taking up golf now?
I think I should, really.
Have you ever played? Do you play?
Never. It's something that I've been advised to play, and I do I have a small interest in golf. I can't say as much as my favorite sport, rugby or American football, I'm a bit more of a contact sport person personally.
Yeah.
If
you start wrestling people to the ground on the golf course, it's probably not going to go down terribly well. But 33 courses. in the Algarve. I knew golf was big there, and the first time I think I'd ever heard of Portugal was because my dad was playing golf in the Algarve on a little tour with his mates. Obviously famous for golf, but I didn't realize it was 33 courses. Wow, amazing. Let's give Sarah a round of applause and bring her back onto the screen. High octane stuff this evening. Quite the pace on let us help you find your home in Portugal tonight, Sarah. Volatility, this changing dollar. Well, there are obvious reasons for it. How to protect yourself from it.
Yes, no, absolutely. I mean, good point, obviously, what Marion was saying about, obviously house prices, the demand is high, the supply is low. So there's lots of things to factor into, is it a good time to be buying property? And again, although the rates, certainly for Americans, have dropped really sort of about 13%, and there's not, unfortunately, I can't magic the figures for you and make it better.
That's why we invited you here tonight. That's a bit disappointing. Carry on.
So unfortunately, I can't do that. But what we can do is really help manage the fluctuations going forward. If you're buying a property, paying for a golden visa, these are large sums of money that you're transferring. You're planning to move to Portugal, you're going to be here for the rest of your life. This is something you have to factor in. And unfortunately, yes, I can't lock the rate for the rest of the time that you're here in Portugal, but certainly we can have a strategy for the next month, 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, and let's look at it. A lot of people are talking about, what's the rate against my bank or the provider? Yes, that's only one aspect. The other aspect really, which is key, is the strategy around, we're looking to buy a property. We can watch out for better rates. As I said, when we see a spike, that might be an opportune time to move money. Maybe just do a quarter or half of what you need to do, and then that spreads your risk. Other thing that we can do is we can lock a rate for a future payment. So if you are buying a property, or you are in the future, lock the rate now for that future payment. You don't know what the rate's going to be. It just gives you peace of mind that you know exactly now how much that property is going to cost you.
Very good indeed. And we can have a look at the chart. In fact, if you want to know more, go to spartan.co.uk, and these are the charts. I don't know, it just looks like a scene from Wall Street to me. Do you refer to these often, or is this best left to your trader colleagues, Sarah?
Well, I'm looking at it, all the time. The thing is, the dealers are looking at it all the time. Yeah. I've spoken to clients when they're starting to consider this, they're looking at it every day, which you can, but it's going to drive you a little bit crazy, and you've got more important things to do and live your wonderful life here in Portugal as well. So let us do that for you. Again, I think there's a couple of things you need to sort of think about. Just going back to locking the rate, you are locked into the rate regardless of rate movements, even if it moves in your favour. But again, it's just about the budgeting. I think really what it boils down to is, your personality, I would probably say, kind of risk appetite, what money you've got available, what your time frames are, and then let's look at that strategy for you, because some may choose to wait and just watch what happens with the markets. Let us do that for you. Others, as I said, they can't afford for that property to cost them more than what they've budgeted for. So there is a solution for you. Even on the smaller amounts, we talk obviously a lot about the larger amounts because it makes a bigger difference, a bigger impact, but still day to day, like myself, someone's living off their pension or as a salary transfer, it still impacts you. That could be anything from, well, a meal out to, I don't know, a couple of meals out or more. And it makes such a difference. So we can look at locking a rate for sort of payments for maybe up to 2 years. That might help just give you a bit of peace of mind that you know how much you're going to live off each month.
Very good. Right, couple more other things, not directly related to currency. We all met most recently, I think, yesterday in Caldas de Rainha.
And
the day before that, we were with Expats Portugal on one of the meetup weekends, which we thoroughly recommend. If you need help moving to Portugal, they're a great place to start. Expatsportugal.com. And they do a very good meetup as well. Excellent food on Saturday night at the Caldas de Rainha Sana Hotel, and a buffet that you co-curated. Is that the right phrase I'm using there, Ben? Could you give us some highlights?
That co-curated as you said, the evening meal with the Sana Hotel. It was a lot more the chef's doing rather than mine. I just kind of gave the go ahead on certain menu items. Said yes, it's a good translation of what the region is and what it represents, culinarily speaking.
And took the credit.
Yeah, exactly.
What sort of what sort of delights were on that menu?
My personal favorite was the you remember the espar de mexilhões? So that would be kind of the mussels.
Yes.
Personal preference for me. I'm a sucker for seafood, so.
And they are the very big, almost the green-lipped mussel, and it's served cold, isn't it, in Portugal? Because you might be expecting it to be like a moule meunière in a warm sauce, but actually, often Portuguese tapas-style mussels, a bit like probably the Spanish version, is served cold, isn't it?
Yeah, and sometimes you get like a little onion relish on the top of them. I did that this time, for instance. There are certain dishes where you get them warm as well.
They were good.
In contrast, though, one of my favorite ones is the favorite ways of doing seafood, not necessarily mussels, because it's clams. A meijoas a bom pato. That's one of my top recommendations here in Portugal.
And that is?
That would be clams that are kind of done in the white wine. They got a bit of onion, lots of garlic with coriander. Sorry, not coriander, parsley.
Yes, for those people who are suddenly revolted by the idea of coriander, it's okay. It's only parsley. And you might think, if you've started to learn Portuguese, that tabulho pato meant that it had duck in it. Pato meaning duck in Portuguese, but it's named after the guy who first asked for it in the restaurant, isn't it?
I think it was made after the guy. Wasn't it either named after someone who asked for it or named after someone who invented it? It's one of the other.
Yes, okay, but it's nothing to do with duck. There is no duck.
There's no duck in there whatsoever.
In that dish.
I quite like, I don't know what it's called, but the dish that's the pork and the clams.
Pork Alentejano.
Alentejano. That's right. Where it's like surf and turf for Portuguese people, really, isn't it?
I think that'll be the next Expats Portugal meetup, if I'm not mistaken, will be in the Alentejo, so in Évora.
Woohoo! Okay, we can look forward to the the lovely Magdalena from Winsurance was with us. She's from Évora, and I think she's so looking forward to representing her home city at that particular event. I think that's a Christmas one, isn't it, in Évora? So that'll be worth coming along for. So yeah, thanks for a great weekend, Expats Portugal. Great food, traditional Portuguese Indian food yesterday at Flavors of India, which was delicious, absolutely delicious.
I absolutely adored that. That was great.
Yeah, good job. They did a great job there. And a fantastic tour around Óbidos, of course, with the ginginha. And a rather hard... You didn't have the cake, the bolo, Sarah.
No, I didn't. Unfortunately, I've got a gluten intolerance. But actually, I don't find it a problem here in Portugal. It's just the odd thing, like maybe that. But otherwise, a lot of the restaurants, they're quite good. A lot of the dishes, I think Portuguese dishes are traditionally gluten-free anyway, certainly the meat and the fish, so I don't find it too much of a problem.
It wasn't the most moist of cakes, but it wasn't meant to be, was it? It's meant to be quite a dry confection, I think, Ben. Is that right? What was it called?
Oh god, it's the sigel or something like
I have a picture somewhere, yeah. But very interesting to walk around the Óbidos castle there, where Ben was beaten with a mace once upon a time in a medieval reenactment. And you lost a tooth, didn't you? In that.
Shame that I have the image for that. Let me see. Actually, I'll see if I can find it. And I'll send it to you.
Okay, all right.
Which is going to be controversial, which is going back to the drinks, obviously, is that I discovered a really nice gin in Óbidos.
Of all the things you might say.
I mean, it's becoming quite the commodity gin in Portugal. They do some great ones at the Alentejo. I was actually I was unfamiliar with this one that Sarah told me about.
Yeah, but it is.
Oh, okay. I didn't get that memo. Which what was it?
Shall I do it this way? There we go.
Okay, hold on a minute. I'm trying to get up the ginginha on the screen. Oh, you've actually got it there. So Muralha.
It's lovely because it's got the castle on the bottle.
Lovely bottle as well, isn't it?
Oh yeah, really nice bottle. Really nice. The flavors are really good. I don't actually think it's got any. Has it got any?
Has it got gin in it? I hope.
Yes,
I hope so. With a gin.
I don't know if it's got a bit of but it's very nice. Very good flavour. I'd recommend that. But you can only get that in Óbidos. I have tried to get it elsewhere, but it's not
right.
nice.
Yeah, that's a really good reason to go if there weren't enough already. As long with this, look, I snuck in and did a selfie with the girls who were pouring out the chocolate cups filled with the sour cherry liqueur. So fantastic. A great time was had by all there in Óbidos. Thanks again to Expats Portugal. Finally, perhaps, before we play the Herdad de Mayo footage that we've got, the Algarve, where Marian's from, represents, do you have a favourite place there? I suspect you do, Sarah, but Ben, do you know it well enough to, right down there in the south, to have a favourite place in the Algarve?
I'll be honest, I haven't really been to the Algarve all that much, and when I have, it has been with my colleagues from the UK who all want to go to Albufeira for
Oh, okay. So you might as well have been.
Albufeira reasons of going there.
Yes, you could have been anywhere that had a nightclub, basically, right?
Exactly.
Okay, all right. What about you, Sarah?
I've gone to a few places. I haven't done too much, but Lulé was quite nice. It's really interesting, obviously, what Marian's saying about the work that they're doing around Villamora, which I think will be really fantastic for that area. I have friends that live closer to Villarreal, San Antonio, which is close to the Spanish border, which is lovely because it's very pretty there and you're close to the Spanish border. I suppose obviously it's a small country, so you don't have to drive far, but you are sort of obviously the east side, whereas sometimes being central and gives you access to sort of more places, obviously, within the Algarve itself.
Yes.
And it depends, obviously, what you're looking for. Is probably what conversations you have with your clients is around, what do people need? I speak to many of our clients and they're looking at, is there a hospital nearby in the vicinity? Schools, if you've got children, do you play golf? Obviously, 35 golf courses shouldn't be a problem in the Algarve. But those are the sort of things to look at, which I actually think was really interesting when we were in Caldas de Reina. I'd been a couple of times, and every time I go back, I'm very surprised at what we discover there.
Yeah.
Really lovely town, lots of things to do, restaurants, cafes, and I discovered a beautiful park area. Have you been to the park?
Oh, we're never out of there. We love that park. In the centre. It's the Dom Carlos Park. Yeah, beautiful picnic areas, great cafe. Yeah, really fabulous place, and a museum in the middle. Did you go to the museum?
No, I didn't have a chance to go to the museum. But then even on the meetup, we got in. Well, the mayor of Caldas de Reina came to meet us, which was wonderful, really lovely gentleman, and he invited us to the jazz concert that was happening that evening. So we went up to see some jazz. So it was, yes, very interesting. I think that's the thing is there's loads of beautiful towns around Portugal, so you'll find a place for you.
Yeah,
and these guys can help you find the home for you as well.
We will do our best to do so. Right. Okay. I think we'll call it a day or call it a night here on our second episode of Find Your Home in Portugal. If there's a particular area you want us to investigate for you here in Portugal, let us know. If you're looking for a home in Portugal, we'll do our best to help you. Get in touch with Ben Austin or myself, Carl Munson. And if you need to exchange currency, of course, get in touch with Sarah Davey at Spartan FX. Anything else, Ben, before we roll that VT with Carl Hyde?
Well, I'd like to expand on something that Sarah said. I think Portugal, it's a wonderful country. It's got so many great places, but it's horrible at advertising them, if I'm being honest. Mm-hmm. I can give the example of just about 30 minutes away from me. You got the Fragas de São Simão, the waterfalls of São Simão, which is an incredibly just tranquil, relaxing place to go. And it's not advertised anywhere, really.
No, it's
such a clean, such a nice little spot to go to.
Yeah. Yeah, incredible. So, no one's going to remember that name on hearing it for the first time. I do know where you mean, and it's an extraordinary place, isn't it? You can walk along the river, you can swim in the river beach, and you can go up to a viewing point and look over it all. Could you remind us of the name of that wonderful place, please?
That would be the Fragas de São Simão.
Very good. Thank you very much indeed. Sarah, thank you. We'll have a little look at Herdad de Mayo now, but thank you very much for joining us.
That's fine. Also, I have the link's too long, but to show on the show, but we have a moving money guide specifically around property. So if you would like a copy, please get in touch. My email address is sdavey, which is my surname, @spartanfx.co.uk.
Very good. Okay, I'm going to make the Carl Hyde video of Herdad de Mayo our closing clip, and I'm going to get you to sit through, Ben, a chat I had with Bobby O'Reilly, if you don't mind. But Sarah, thank you very much indeed. Take care. Have a great evening. And bye for now. Enjoy the gin. Enjoy the gin there, Sarah. I think she was quite a big fan of that, Ben. And if you'll permit me, great to catch up with Bobby O'Reilly. We've hung out with him. It's like we just sound like a pair of lushes who hang out and drink and eat food with people all over Portugal. With Marion.
Here. Why else do you move here?
Indeed. So let's get this video up on here. It was a delight to having talked about Cidade de Maio for, oh my goodness, it must be over a year now. It takes a while to have 70 cutting edge sustainable homes come out of the ground. And they have come out of the ground. We saw the footings, we saw the groundwork, we saw the first shells of the homes, and now back there on Friday, I saw the first show home. Here I am having a chat with Bobby. The Englishman and the Irishman walk into a show home. The thing is, though, the show home turns out is yours, Bobby.
Yeah.
Congratulations. There's the model behind us, the Cidade de Maio model, but we're actually sat inside one of the homes, the first, really, the show home.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, congratulations. It is so nice to see at this stage, to walk about, and I'll splice in some interior shots because the lines of this development, of this property, this building are fabulous. How's it been? How's it going?
It's been tough. it's been a sleepless week,
right?
Trying to get it ready. So
yes.
Yeah, no, we wanted to get the show house open.
Let's get you further into the shot. There we go.
Yeah, we wanted to get the show house open for this week.
Yeah,
and we sort of put the guys on the ground under a bit of pressure to make sure that they got it together.
Yeah.
We're still doing finishing touches, as you saw.
It's development show business, isn't it?
Yeah. So people are actually seeing the work in progress, as it's going on. So they're fitting the glass now upstairs on the balcony, which is sort of the last major part of this show house to be done. As you see, it's fully furnished inside and out. So you can see the garden, you can see the swimming pool, you can see how much room you have here.
Well, you get a sense of what it's going to be like to live here, right?
Exactly, and how comfortable it is, and how big it is, and how open it is. So I think what people really appreciate more is also the smart functionalities of the houses. As I was saying, there's over 50 objects attached to the smart home system. Mm-hmm. So if you're into having your smart home on your phone, this is a great house to have. But I like the switches myself.
So the kids are going to be running the house.
Yes, exactly.
Well, it's fantastic, and it looks like, as we discussed before, people were very interested, but they're definitely putting their money where their mouths and their minds are. Right? There's a lot of interest. People are buying the houses.
Yeah, like we've 40 now sold out of 70, and we've over 60 reservations this weekend of people that have shown interest before, that have come to view the house with the idea of making a reservation. So I expect to sell probably 20 houses more or less out of this weekend from the people to come. I think tomorrow will be the big day. Yeah. Because I think there's something like 40 out of that 60 are booked in tomorrow. So that'll be an interesting day.
Yeah, busy day in Portugal on Sunday. It's the elections, isn't it? So I think your busy day will be tomorrow. Talking of elections and localities, this has been quite the splash, as we've talked about before, in Sejal, in this particular district, south of the river, south of Lisbon. Yep. How is that going? Because Sejal must be thinking, wow, this guy means business. This is amazing, the imprint he's creating here.
Well,
and your team, of course.
I don't know about how they feel, but I think they like the idea that we're bringing foreign direct and local investment into Sejal. Mm-hmm. And as I said before, it's a strategic location for us to continue to invest into. Because we believe by adding value to what's already here, just helps to increase the experience of living in Sejal as well. The fact that it's just across the water from Lisbon, and it has lots of accesses into Lisbon itself, it's only minutes from it, I think is a huge benefit. But also what's around Sejal itself, from the South Bank side with regards to, like, say, Fontatelia is 10 minutes from here. You also have what I call the wine country in Pamela, only a few minutes away from here as well.
Caparica, that people will know.
Exactly, Costa de Caparica. You have the Sierra de Jávida, Troia, I recently bought a boat myself, which is
Like you do.
It's doable, and I was out every weekend I could, and the dolphins are dancing around us as we go.
Fantastic.
And it's just an amazing lifestyle. So
Yeah.
it's you have Lisbon, you have the main city features, but also you have, you know, all the extra activity that's around you that already existed here that we're adding on to.
And catch a train or a ferry to the other side of the water.
Exactly.
And it seems like, I mean, that was obvious to you, what, over 10 years ago, the potential
Yes.
of this side of the water.
Yes.
Are people catching up now?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
No, it's the drop in the middle of the lake, if you know what I mean. The ripples that move out. Lisbon forcing people out because of price points and etc. and so on. But Seychelles was the first ripple, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it was always the south side for me. Was always the area where people could actually get value and improve and get capital appreciation as an investor, or as an area that was going to be developed for its environment and the activities that were happening around it. So it was always a focus for me from 10, 12 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Superb. Well done. It's lovely. You know, we've been talking about it for a long time, haven't we? We've seen it come out of the ground.
Yeah.
Saw the first shells of houses, and now we're seeing a near finished show home here, and you get a real sense. So people could come and see you this weekend. But I mean, the show home's open
7 days now.
7 days a week. Okay.
7 days a week now, but I would come quick because.
Well, by the sound of it, yeah. Okay.
I don't believe there'll be many left. I'd say we will be sold out by Christmas.
Well done. Congratulations to you and the team. And well done, Seychelles, as well. You know, this is on the up and up, isn't it? I mean, it's always been a great place. You've always seen that. But it's all coming together here in this incredible treasure just south of the river. Very easy to get to. I drove over in about, 25 minutes from town, I think, as well. Yeah. Absolutely brilliant location. So, well done to you and all the team and Claudio here. And we look forward to the next update, Bobby.
Obrigado.
Cheers, mate.
Ciao.
You could hear them finishing the finishing touches there, Ben, right? There's a sound of construction in the background. There you go. Haddad de Mayo. Link to it there on the screen. Good evening, Squire. Nice to see you here as well. That's our real estate news thread. But you heard Ben's top 3 stories earlier on this evening. Watch the replay if you didn't catch those. Sarah Davey, you can get in touch with sdavey@spinefx.co.uk. And Marion, if you want to get in touch with Marion and learn more about that development, the Ells development in Villamora, the agency re.com/agent/Marion-Purcell on your screen right now. That went pretty well, I think, Ben, even if I say so myself. Did you enjoy the show tonight? And what are you looking forward to next time? We'll be back again next Monday. It's every Monday, isn't it? Apart from the Wine Club.
Every Monday apart from the Wine Club Monday, exactly.
Some say this is looking an awful lot like the Wine Club, though, Ben, thanks to your inclusion of a wine of the week. But how do you see this shaping up? Last word to you. How do you see this shaping up? And what sort of service can people look forward to as they tune in on a Monday evening?
I'm really excited for the future, what this show brings personally. We've got quite a few people that I've been contacting on LinkedIn. I've been working away, tirelessly typing on my little fingers.
Oh, bless you. Working your fingers to the bone.
You know, I think if you're interested in finding out about different services you can get here in Portugal that make your life just that little bit easier as well, finding a house here, of course, as well. This is definitely the show to tune into, dare I say.
Yeah, excellent. And join us in the morning as well. Ben, also a star of the Good Morning Portugal show on the first Friday when you do a little bit of vocab as well. You're brought up in this country, of course. You speak Portuguese fluently and you help us to endeavour to do the same. I doubt any of us will ever be as good as you are with the language, but you give us a bit of help alongside.
It's a matter of practice. Don't say that.
It's true, isn't it? Ana Caramujo, Savikatana also with you on that first Friday of the month. Thanks, mate. Thanks for all you've done to make this happen, and we will see you again same time next Monday evening at 8 o'clock, and we'll leave you in the capable hands of Carl Hyde of the agency this evening, and we look forward to bringing you another great agent, a great property and industry news from the great Ben Austin. Take care and bye for now.
I'm at the Haddad de Mayo development in Amora, and I've known about this project for about 2.5 years. Still some construction going on, but we have our very first show home ready, so let's take a look inside. Now, I've visited this development several times in the past few years, and I've seen it in various stages of construction. So it's great to finally have a finished home to help people visualize what their home could look like. So just a quick overview, as this little video really can't do this place justice. This is a new sustainable residential community just outside Lisbon. It's made up of 70 smart villas, each with either 3 or 4 bedrooms. Many of those are already sold. Each villa is energy self-sufficient, powered by solar panels with battery storage, and equipped with smart home technology for lighting, climate and security. Every home includes an EV charging point and features a private garden with swimming pool. If you'd like to learn more, please feel free to reach out.